Hey, what is up guys, Zero Select here, and I'm back with the second battle of the first round of our OU tournament. This time around we have DI Gremlin squaring off with Skarm XD, or simply known as Skarm in the forum. So let's go straight into team preview. DI Gremlin is looking to be using a dual weather kind of team, assuming it's Charizard Y. Of course with the Politoed. This Ligoo there sticks out like a sore thumb, but of course DI Gremlin must have something planned with that thing. Otherwise he would just be using Goodra, so kind of interested to see what this Ligoo is going to be doing. Other members that DI Gremlin has is of course a possible Scarf the Raptor. Now that Aegislash is gone, Scarf the Raptor is going to be the go-to revenge killer in this new metagame, or at least that's the way I see it. Of course, Break Bird and Close Combat do nail the entire metagame for at least neutral damage, or at least a very respectable amount of damage. Etridil there, of course, providing rapid spin support for both Charizard Y and the Staraptor, and then of course Azumarill. Could be Bella Jet, could be Choice Band, it could be Assault Mist, could be Life Orb, could be any number of things, but one thing is for certain, it will abuse the rain boosted waterfalls and Aqua Jets he has in its arsenal. Skarm on the other hand is using what looks to be a really scary looking team. Clefable is always very scary to face because of course he just loves to set up, and once he's set up it's kind of impossible to take down, whether it's an unaware variant or a Magic Guard variant. So DI Gremlin has to watch out for that. Landorus T, of course, could be Scarfed. I have seen that running, rising popularity recently. It could also very well just be, defensive variant with Stealth Rocks. Keldo, of course, is another very scary thing that DI Gremlin has to watch out for. His team really doesn't have, aside from Azumarill, doesn't really have much to deal with that. So he has to keep his Azumarill around healthy around for that, and probably not try to bring out the rain, because nothing on this team's looking to take a rain boosted Specs Hydro Pump from that thing. Heatran, of course, probably there to provide the Stealth Rock support, which are always necessary, especially against the likes of Charizard and Staraptor. Mega Pinsir is going to be, of course, another very, very scary threat. Those Aerolate boosted returns will do a number to DI Gremlin's team, and then of course we have a Latias. Possible Defogger support, probably expects Calm Mind. It doesn't really matter. Latias is a problem nonetheless. So with that out of the way, we shall begin the battle and see how things turn out to be. DI Gremlin is going to, of course, decide to lead off with Charizard Y. Try to get the Mega Evolution as soon as possible, and probably try to get an upper hand first turn. But Skarm does lead off with the Landorus T. DI Gremlin is not going to try to assume this. He's going to play it safe, not wanting to risk a Scarf the Landorus lead. Still, he's going to go into his Politoed, which is, judging by the fact that he brought it on a physical attacker, most likely means he's a physically offensive. As you can see, that Rock Slide at barely 20%. Definitely physically offensive. And the fact that Skarm stayed in and went for the Rock Slide definitely alerts DI Gremlin this is a Scarfed Landorus T. Skarm's going to, of course, switch out of there. He's not wanting to take a Scald from Politoed. So he's going to go into his Latias, predicting the water move, but DI Gremlin, of course, goes for the middle ground play, goes for the Ice Beam, because if Landorus T had decided to stay in, it would have died, and of course, if the Latias wanted to come in, it would have at least, taken a respectable amount of damage. 35% is not too shabby. So there we go. And this is going really slowly. Alright, there it is. Skarm, of course, is going to switch out of there, go on to his Keldo this time, of course, now that he knows he's packing the Ice Beam. Politoed, for the most part, cannot touch Keldeo, with the Ice Beam Scald coverage, for coverage. So he gets a free switch into his Keldeo, which is what he needed. He goes for the Secure Sword. Does a hell of a lot of damage, because of course Specs Keldeo is a massive threat. Possibly, with the potential to KO practically anything that doesn't resist dual stabs, which is very scary in its own right. But Politoed does take the Sacred Sword. He goes for the Toxic, and I believe this turn goes for the Protect. Skarm either predicted that, or he just believed Clefable to be a much better thing to deal with a Politoed at this range. So that's what happens. Clefable comes in. DI Gremlin does not want to stay in. It goes down to his Monty Mole, which of course Steel typing. Those Stab Iron Heads will be doing a significant amount of damage to these Clefable. Fortunate for him though, he is carrying a balloon variant, switches in on an attack, so his balloon gets popped immediately, and top it off, it was a crit. So that's really bad for him. In comes the Landorus T to deal with the Extra Drill a lot better now, but he still takes a significant amount of damage from that Iron Head even after the Intimidate. So, of course, this is definitely a more offensive variant of Landorus T. Goes for the knockoff on a switch into Politoed, gets a crit, knocks off his leftovers. So now, of course, Politoed won't be able to recover any HP passively, which is of course unfortunate for DI Gremlin, because Politoed has no form of recovery. He's gonna go for the Rain Boosted Skull, nail the incoming Keldeo, but of course Keldeo's already toxic, so it didn't really matter for Skarm whether he got burned or not. Now Skarm is gonna of course fire off a Rain Boosted Skull, and it does 43% to a fucking Azumarill. That is way too much damage. Fortunately for DI Gremlin though, he does not get the burn. If he had gotten burned there, this Azumarill would have died this turn actually, and he would have to deal with a Keldeo, which outside of possible Scarf Staraptor, they have much to deal with. But of course he does manage to avoid the burn and take out the Keldeo, but ends up dying to his lack of recoil, which is of course unfortunate. Comes the Charizard and the Landorus T on the double down. Really bad matchup for DI Gremlin. He's gonna go switch out into Extra Drill. Skarm predicts this very nicely. Goes for the Earthquake, nails the incoming Extra Drill, and that is the end of that. DI Gremlin's team is slowly getting dismantled here, because of course Skarm has like I said, very solid and very scary team. But of course, now that DI Gremlin sees that he's locked into Earthquake, he's gonna of course go into his Charizard Y, take the chance to Mega Evolve, and on top of that, predict the switch into the Heatran of all things, and go straight for the Focus Blast. Unfortunately for him though, he does end up missing, and that is really bad, because as you can see here, if he had hit the first one, this would have been a 2-hit KO, and he wouldn't have to deal with the Heatran any longer. Skarm's gonna go for the Toxic, because of course setting up the rocks could still be good, but of course the Charizard Y is already on the field, so might as well do the best that he can at the moment, which of course try Toxic Stall as he goes to Protect. DI Gremlin fires off yet another Focus Blast, because of course it would have been a 2-hit KO, but of course Skarm had the Protect ready. He misses yet another Focus Blast, and that's really disappointing, because of course based on the damage that first one did, depending on the min-max damage rolls, that would have been a dead Heatran. That would have been no rocks to deal with, and he would have been able to freely switch between his Raptor and his Charizard Y in the late game. DI Gremlin here is gonna go ahead and switch out into his Politoed, Predict and Protect. So he got his Politoed there for free, so he has at least one more chance to at least rack up some damage on this Heatran. Heatran goes with Lava Plume, does not KO the Politoed, because of course under the rain, it limits the amount of power that Lava Plume has. And DI Gremlin lets loose a Skull Boosted. Skull barely does 50%, which is kind of sad how you think about it, but that's that. DI Gremlin now is going to be forced to switch out to Staraptor and fire off a Close Combat, which Skarm actually predicted very nicely. DI Gremlin here should have predicted a switch out into either his Landorus T or his Clefable, and just gone straight for the Brave Bird. If he had done that, he would have easily 2-hit KO'd anything with the Staraptor. Nothing practically even wanted to switch in. But of course, he just makes a safe play, goes for the Close Combat. Clefable takes that on the chin, and he will now proceed to set up a Calm Mind as DI Gremlin switches out into his Charizard Y. So, Calm Mind Clefable has been confirmed what kind of set it is. Very scary set. But even after that, the Fire Blast does 65%, which is ridiculous. But Skarm, of course, is going to go for the softball. Safest play he can possibly do at this moment, because of course Charizard was going to be ended up down to the Toxic Recoil there. Of course, safe play for Skarm D, played out, worked out for him in the end. And now all he has to do is just wait for this Raptor to kill himself. He's going to go ahead and spam Soft Boil until, like I said, Raptor dies to the Brave Bird Recoil. So that would practically seal Skarm the game, and that is that. DI Gremlin though made some very good series of plays. Unfortunately for him, the 2 Focus Blast misses really came and bite him in the ass. And that prediction against the Heatran on the Staraptor. Personally, I would have, of course, like I said, gone for the Brave Bird. But oh well, it is water under the bridge at this point. DI Gremlin, all he has left is this Ligoo. that managed to take a +2 Moonblast. Not well, but I mean, he took it nonetheless. So, I mean, that's a thing. But he won't be able to take a second one, and like I said, that will be the end of the match. Skarm XD will be moving on forward to the semifinals and facing off against, I don't know yet. I have to check the brackets. I don't know. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next battle. Bye.